Soul Reaver 1 and 2 Remastered was made for the gamers. I know, I'm a little biased because I have nostalgia for this game, but it is in fact a really good remaster. Everything from the music, the graphics, the voice acting, everything about it is such a really good game, and I really recommend it. So when I first played Soul Reaver, the first game, I was really little. I was about 4 years old, 4 or 5 years old, which I really shouldn't be playing this game at that age, but hey, it is what it is, and it is one of the greatest games I've ever played, period. But I have very fond memories of this game when I was growing up. I remember not really being in school. I wasn't even in like kindergarten yet, and I was playing this game, and I absolutely loved every second of it, from the voice acting, even the visuals back in the day. Like, it was really, really outstanding in my opinion. All right, enough about the childhood story. I want to talk about the remaster. The remaster is fantastic. I love the visuals. They look fantastic. And don't want to make this video about nostalgia. I really do like this game, but I want to give the game its flowers without, being blinded by nostalgia. I want to critique it as much as I can. Though obviously, compared to modern day graphics, this game is not visually impressive, but comparing it to its older brother, the first game on the PS1, it is a graphical improvement all the way through. Also, what I thought was really cool about the remaster is that you can flop in between the PS1 graphics and the new graphics. So if you don't like the new graphics, you got the old ones to look at. Also, the FPS boost is a must-have. It was really bad on the PlayStation 1. I mean, obviously because the game was visually impressive back in the day, so you had to sacrifice a little bit of that FPS for sure. And to my surprise, the controls were actually really fluid on this one, the remaster edition. On the PlayStation 1, it was bashed even back then for its really clunky controls. The only problem I have with the remastered controls is the camera movement. For some reason, it likes to drift off sometimes, especially during cutscenes and all that. Like, you'll be opening a door and then all of a sudden the camera is clipping right next to Raziel for some reason. I have no idea why. I would really like to see that get fixed in like a later update or something, fixing the camera controls. Right now they're a little clunky, but my recommendation for anybody playing this game, don't even touch the control stick for the camera. You don't need it. Don't even touch the camera controls, bro. What's really cool about the remaster is actually improve the render distance of where you can see how far in the game, which was really cool. On the PlayStation 1, it couldn't handle the render distance, obviously, because of the graphics, but now you can actually see farther, which is really nice. Other than the graphics, I really do believe this game has some of the best voice acting in any game I've ever played, period, and the story and lore of everything is amazing, and anybody who has not checked out this game needs to. And what was so cool, in the main menu, you can go to the bonus content, and you can see all the cosplays and all the fan art that fans made for the game, and that's why I really do believe that this game was definitely made for the gamers for sure. Like, it's not trying to impress a newer audience. It's not trying to be something it's not. It's literally textbook definition of what a game should be. And I don't know if you guys knew this, but Crystal Dynamics, the ones that have made this game, and they also worked on the Tomb Raider series, they did a poll, I think it was on Twitter, or they did a petition or whatever it was. They wanted to see how many people would want a remaster of this game. They were aiming for about 10,000 votes, and they got over 100,000 votes on it. So with an overwhelming amount of support from the fans and the community behind everything, they decided to remaster it, and it is such a good game. It is so cool. So what I would take away from this is that you don't need fancy graphics to have a good experience, for sure. You don't need no 4K graphics. You don't need nothing like that. As long as you have a really good story and something that's actually engaging, you can have a really good experience. And I really do believe that game developers should do this more often. Really, like, ask the community or ask your followers. You have these social platforms and you're not even asking people what they want. It's like, I don't care who you are, nobody wanted a Horizon Zero Dawn remaster or remake, whatever it is, and nobody wants the PlayStation 5 Pro, seriously. I think a lot of these companies, they don't know where the audience is. They don't know why people play video games. I really do believe that. But hats off to Crystal Dynamics and the entire people who made Soul Reaver Remastered 1 and 2. Seriously, they made a lot of people can take notes from this for sure. This is how you do a remaster. They even took advice from the community to add a compass and a map into the game. People have been begging for a remaster and to add those into the game, and they fulfilled that for sure. I think this game is it's so refreshing to see a game developer ask fans what they want to see and them fulfilling it 100%. It is so refreshing to see that, especially nowadays, where a lot of these developers are blinded by corporate greed and all of this, I guess you would call it woke culture, where everything is pushing a narrative that people don't really care about. It's like that whole thing with Overwatch and Marvel Rivals. People were moving from Overwatch to Marvel Rivals and saying that there wasn't enough diversity or inclusion, and that's not what it was about. It's like, I don't know about you guys, but me personally, I don't care what my character's race or ethnicity is, whatever it is, or even their gender. If it's a really good game, it's a really good story, and it is engaging, I will enjoy it the same way I would if it was the opposite way. I don't play video games to have politics and narratives shoved down my throat. I literally play video games to escape that exact thing. I don't want to keep hearing about that type of stuff. And that's where Soul Reaver thrives, in my opinion. It is totally for the fans, and it is not trying to push a narrative down your throat. It is textbook definition for the gamers. It is textbook definition for the fans, and overall, a really good experience. And I recommend anybody out there go and try it. And the crazy part is, this game is literally $30 for 2 games. That's insane. So you're getting updated graphics, a fun experience, one of the best stories ever told with really good voice acting for $30. That is insane. That's $15 for 2 games. I meant $15 for 1 game. And even though this game is 25 years old, I really do believe that people who haven't even heard of this game can enjoy it 100%. It is so fun to just hack and slash the enemies, figure out all of the puzzles, and then get to that boss and know that you just completed a really good quest. And also trying to figure out the story at the same time, which is really cool. And also, one of my favorite things about this game is the combat. So there are these little like things that you have to figure out. So once you grab a sword, you can use it all the way up until you have to go back into the spectral realm. But if you don't have a sword at your hand, you can literally just use the environment to kill the enemies with. You can use fire, you can use stones, you can use little spike pillars on the sides of the walls. And even to today's standards, that is such a really good mechanic. And I really do admire it for sure, because it makes you think more about how your combat goes. Instead of just using swords, you can use the environment, and if you don't have that at your disposal. Also, the way you can shift between areas in the game. So when you're going in through an area, you can go through these blue symbol shaped doors, and you can basically backtrack and go between different checkpoints in the game. And I'm gonna be honest, that still to this day is very impressive to me that 25 years ago they figured that out. I don't know, I could ramble on for hours about this game, but overall I think it's a really good experience. It definitely needed the upgrade for sure. So if you guys want to go try this out, it is on Steam and PlayStation 5 and Xbox. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.